Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. I want to welcome everyone. My name is Vince, and I want to thank you for joining us another presentation of Novedge's Best of the Best webinar series. We're really excited today not only to be presenting LinceoVR Enterprise, but to have Joseph Gruning on board to present with us. Just a little background on Joseph before we get into things. Under the seac02 membership, he graduated in 2006 from the Politecnico University of Turin, discussing his master's degree thesis on high dynamic range images applied to rendering algorithms. Joseph's really great, and we're in for a real treat with this presentation today. Joseph's going to speak for about the next 45 minutes or so. During that time, everyone will be in listen-only mode, but please feel free to shoot your questions into the question box. We have two other members of SEAC's team on board to help field some of the questions as they come in. We will be recording this webinar, and at the end we'll open it up for a Q&A. So having said all that, I want to turn it over to Joseph so we can get into his presentation. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
So I'm going to switch the screen to you and let you take it from here.
Okay, here we are. Thank you for the introduction. What we will see today is introduction to the powerful of this application, LinceoVR. I'll show you the main characteristics, going through 4 steps. The first one, we will see main options of LinceoVR, the real-time rendering, and the augmented reality output of the application. Then we will showcase 2 design review cases. We will go through a step of complexity becoming even higher. So we will also see how to make a product comparison using a simple cut model. Then we will load a very complex car model, see how the rendering algorithm works, and see how we will export and share those models on the web. And finally, in the last minutes of the presentation, I'm going to show a preview of what is LinceoVR 4.0, which has very new features and which will be released very, very soon. So stay tuned, wait at the end of the webinar because it's very interesting. Okay, I would say I start directly with showing an animated model. What we see here is animated model of a grasshopper. We imported this model through the SBX format. We also support VRML model file. So from any cat like 3D Studio Max or Rhino or Maya, you can export your animation. The rendering is real time, so what we see here is not a rendering which has been somehow baked. So shadows are also calculated in real time. Rendering can, without any problems, being performed in Full HD resolution. And you can see we can also change environment settings, so to change also the illumination of the model. So we now have changed the environment. Also lights on the on our model will change. Now I'm going to change again the environment, and also shadows will be coherent with the environment. Now I will show you the most important feature of this software, which is augmented reality. With one click on this button here, we are able to see the model into augmented reality. Here we are. I have obviously preset camera, which is a very simple webcam, low cost, and a texture which can be directly trained inside the software, so we don't need any additional tools. What we are seeing here is the model directly projected on my desk. So again, see the shadows which are correct, projected on the desktop plane. They are real time, so we can also think of changing their direction. Many other properties we will see later on can be selected and changed. Yeah, this has only wanted to be a very simple introduction to LinceoVR to show the main features. Now I will go directly into steps from the importing to the sharing of the model with other people. So I'm returning to VR mode. This is the virtual reality mode. I'm going to clear the scene and importing model. A model which can be OBJ, or we also support, as I said before, FX, DRL, IGES, GT, and many other formats. First of all, I'm going to import the basement of our model here. So I will put on this basement some water caps. The idea is to prepare and compare water cap with a real one, which really I have here on my desk. So we will compare them after. Okay, so I imported the basement. Now I'm going to import the tap. So I have again another OBJ, which is this one here. These OBJ have been exported from 3D Studio Max, so any CAD can be used. We see here some defects, which is because the OBJ is exporting probably some normals. So we are going to select the basement and calculate the normals. So by simply using this tool, it's an optimization tool, you remove the artifacts LinceoVR and compute normals very quickly and correctly. You see, we are using an environment which isn't matching what we want to see. So at any time you can change the environment in which this object will be introduced. Again, as we saw before, we have a huge list of environments, also some syntactic environments. You can add also custom environments by downloading them from the web and then adding to the software. I want just to make you notice how selecting different environments, also color and lighting changed. So we see reflections on the model coherent with the environment in which it is inserted. Those are HDRI environments, so we can also change the exposition. So it's a sort of changing the exposure time. If we want to see in a darker way, we can simply lower the exposition, and all the model and the environment will be lighted coherent with the rest of the images. So there is also a way to rotate globally this model by simply rotating this way from the rotate panel list. then it's also possible to change materials. Another feature of LinceoVR is to change real-time materials, both in AR and in VR. So there is a very large and huge material list, many presets from bulk materials, concrete, fabrics, glass, and so on. And any of this material can be used to start a new one and prepare a new material. Those materials can then be saved in a custom materials list where they can be retrieved later on. So we saw how to change the environment. Now I will show you how to add textures and change colors of this model. Here I prepared a plane where we are going to add a texture. What we simply need to do is give a material to this element here. I make a copy of the material assigned by drag and dropping. We can give a name. Okay. And here is our material, which is assigned to this logo. The basement here is this material here. I will take the base. So because the OBJ gave the same material name, and above part here has the material named material system. Good. Change this base color. I'm going to give a very dark color this way. Okay, you see the reflections of the window. At any time we can change the background because it doesn't make sense. So we can use a gradient. We still have the same environment around, but we have a gradient background. I prefer using another environment, a synthetic one. So this is an environment I like. So we have some smooth lighting, which is typical of such objects. So we have some reflections, smooth reflections. Now I am going to add a texture in this shape here. It's quite easy. When I click on the material, it gets highlighted over here and also in the material list. So I simply double click on the material, I get all the settings. Here they are. The texture settings can be retrieved here. I simply select image. We can also have either textures, and procedural textures, which are simply text and videos. Okay, now let's get an image. Press assign. We have prepared some images over here. Here is the logo of this product. Okay, here we are. We can change the type of filtering. Now I will use linear. Now we have loaded a PNG because it has a transparency. So I enable transparency, and right now we have our logo over here. You see, it's somehow weird, somehow strange. Usually this is because you need UV mapping, a better UV mapping. Again, here the exported model from Max doesn't do UV mapping, so we can change it because the application, the LinceoVR, has a very simple but effective UV mapping control. With this panel here, we can change the mapping. It's quite easy. You have some UV mapping Gizmo, which you can change the existing one or using the planar, cube, or cylindrical, spherical UV mapping. In this case, we use planar, and then we simply press apply. So, but you see, it's the wrong orientation. So we go back to the UV coordinates, and this time we need to rotate it. So again, we press planar, show transformation, and we rotate on this, it's not this axis, but this one here. Okay. No, it's wrong. Sorry. Change again. Okay, here we are. I did only select the wrong axis. So we have our logo. You see how it plays with the light, so it's somehow hidden and somehow better when we see it darker from this side. Now I'm gonna change the material of the tab. To change the material of the tab, we have some presets of metal, huge sets of car painting metals for car modeling, but also some plastic metal, brushed metal, bright chrome, and so on. I will use a bright chrome for this first model here. So I make a copy of this material, and I'm gonna assign to this this new material. To do this, we can either select all the materials and then drop them on this new one, or I can select from here the material. This is the material list, and drop on it the new one. So first I give a more sensible name. Okay. Here it is. Now I'm dropping it on the model. So we change the material, so it looks very more metallic. Now let's see some more options for the materials. When we change those settings, automatically all the settings get updated in real time. So if you want to change the diffuse, which is the main color of this model, see it's real-time changing. You can also change color. Anyway, this model doesn't need any color, so we leave it white and give some more bright color. Each of those materials has a roughness and a sort of reflection value that you can control how much it's rough and how much it's going to reflect this model. So if we remove the reflection, we will have opaque objects. If we want to reflect somehow, we can adjust also the value. Okay. Okay. So we are back to our model, which is quite ready for our purpose. You see down here, this is the shadow, the real-time shadow. This can be changed. Also, the shadow color and intensity can be changed from the lighting panel over here. we can enable shadows, change the smoothness of the shadows. You see now they are very rough. Now they are smooth, and also the color of this shadow. To change the orientation of the light, we go into the light edit mode, and we can change the orientation of the real-time shadows. Okay, I return back into the picking mode. Now that we have seen materials and texturing, I would like to show you how to create variants, and we have both ability to create material and geometry variants. This means that in the same scene we can have different combinations of an entity. Let's think of a car. If you have different types of tires and you want to show them in the same model, you need to use variants. So we can handle both material and geometry variants. I will show you how to create geometry variants and then later on material one. So first of all, I select the tab because I want this tab to be a geometry variant. This can be very simple done by going to the variants panel here and create a geometry variant. Clicking on this button. You see, it created an entity, which is the first variant. Now I'm going to add a second variant by clicking Add Geometry. This opens me a browser and check for another object. I have here a tab from the video standards. So I'm opening it. Here we are. We added a second model, and now I'm going to add a third one again, which is a very simple model. Here we are. So in the same scene that we are looking at, we have 3 different tabs. The idea is to show and then compare those different tabs in augmented reality, but also in later when sharing those models with other person, is to show those different products to customers. For any of those objects, we can change materials and also create material variants. What now I'm going to do is also a material variant for this logo, in order to have a different logo for every different tab. So I select the object which holds the material and create a material variant. Here we are. I created this material variant here. Now I need to add new materials. I can simply start copying this material, opening it, give another name, logo 2, change the texture. Let's say using this. This is for the standard. We open it, it's OK, and closing this. And to add a variant to this material list, you can simply drop on it on the list. And now you can see here, we can change from one logo to the other by simply clicking on this list. I'm gonna add a third one without texting. So I again make a copy of this material, I call it logo 3. Okay. This time I will set no image and make it completely transparent and dropping over here. So I can also hide the logo. Good. So what we have now here is the possibility to create combinations of tabs and textures, but usually those combinations are predefined because one type of tab should go along only with another logo. So this is what layout are things for. So I add a layout which is a combination of variants of geometry and material. So here I'm going to add a layout and another one and a third one. Now I can select combinations for each of those layouts. I'm going to say which variant should be selected. So now if I click on layout 1, it will be selected the first tab and the first logo. By selecting layout 2, it will be selected the second model and the second logo, and so on. Selecting the third one, the logo will disappear and we have the third tab. This is the aim of layout because it can be very useful when going into augmented reality mode to compare different models without having many scenes, but simply using layouts. That's what layouts are for. Good. Now I would like to show you how to present this model in augmented reality and how which are the main settings which are supposed to be used and configured to see it correctly. So I'm going to reduce somehow this panel. We have seen how it works. And now I'm going to show you what is the trackable items. This is very important for augmented reality because in this list you will always see an updated list of what can be tracked in augmented reality. So down here you will see the items we can use to track our symbols, which are markers or textures. So we saw before the grass texture in which we saw the grasshopper. We can add here new trackers, which can be either marker trackers or texture trackers. So assigning which trackable item to which trackers is very easy because we simply need to drag and drop the marker onto our scene. So it's very easy like this. We are going to add to layout 1 the marker 1, then to layout 2 our marker 2, and to layout 3 our marker number 3. So by simply drag and dropping, I'm assigning this model to one specific mark. It's not finished because we need to set the camera which we are going to use. The camera can be set under the option augmented reality panel. Here you will find the main options for going to augmented reality. Under the source settings, you can select the source. There are many sources we support. We can use webcam or video cameras, image, videos. We support also the Canon, PowerShot, and EOS. also multi-clustering and SDI boards, and more sophisticated Altaria and Sphere camera. Mainly, webcam and video camera will be enough for us. When I press OK, there is a list of the camera which are installed on this computer. In this case, I'm going to use a very low-level, entry-level camera. And pressing OK, you will see a preview and some settings of resolution that is being used for this camera. And now I'm going to close here and show you what we will see in augmented reality. Later on, I will also set more options, which are the marker size and some tracking properties. So let's go into augmented reality. This is our table. Here is the real tab. Now I'm going to add markers. This is the first marker. Sorry, I need to go back. I forgot an option. We need to put this on the same root of our geometry. Coming back to AR. Here we are. Okay, this is the first tab. This is the second tab, and here the third one. Okay, so let's make things look better. You see, the model is somehow flickering. So this flickering is because of lighting conditions and because the markers are quite small at this distance. So we have an option for correct this. We return back into the augmented reality panel, and we can see there is a tracking engine setting over here, and a marker engine setting panel, and the texture setting panel, where we can change properties of the tracking engine. The auto threshold should be enabled. I won't go deeper into details of this. But here is the option I'm interested in, because if we use a higher damping matrix option, let's say 5, we are going to accumulate matrices in the time, by matrix I mean the position of the object, and this will increase the stability of the images. Here we are using track half image options, which isn't necessary. This option is only needed when using full HD cameras, which are very huge, have a huge resolution. So when the resolution and the performance drop, we should use this option. So I remove this option, and you see the stability of the model is quite better. The other options for delaying tracking loss. So when you enable this option for 3 seconds, when you remove the marker, you will see for 3 seconds more the model. Okay, I'm going to close this option. And now I will show you how to see in the correct size those models. One of the most biggest problem in augmented reality is to use correct sizes when comparing to other real objects. Giving the correct size is quite easy, because when you double click on the markers over here, let's say this one here, a settings panel will appear, and where we can insert the metric settings. Here it is necessary to give the marker real size. I know this marker has 8.5 centimeter border. So I will insert 8.5. I leave centimeters because they are this size is in centimeters. Now, obviously, it has become very big. But if I go on the settings of this scene and say this scene has been modeled, you see the auto scale is enabled. I know this model has been prepared in millimeters, so the size will get correct, which is this over here. So the size will be correct. Now I will set the same values also for other ones. So there is also 8.5. And this is 8.5 too. So with this simple trick, you can be sure that the models, both in AR and VR, will be the same. Okay. Now I will show you how this shadows can be controlled. Again, as before, we can change the shadow position. When you think that lighting comes from another side, you can change that, and it gets updated. You see here we are using the same scene with 3 different markers, and we are able to compare models. But this is not the only way we can use our markers. We can also think of adding the markers not to the layout but to the scene. So when to remove the markers, I simply drop them in the list below. I remove those 2 markers here. I leave the one you're seeing and drop it on the scene. Now I can see on the same marker the 3 combinations we prepared before. So pressing on layout 1, I will see the EVR standard tab. When I press on layout 2, I will see the layout tab, and so on, returning back to model 1. So this way you can also, during the presentation, change layout and combination. Okay. Now I will return back to augmented reality and return and add those markers as before. I want to show you how to share those models with other people. This is quite simple. It can be done by exporting, going to the menu export, and selecting LinceoVR Viewer, which is our standalone viewer, which is freely distributed on our website and can be used to present the models you have prepared with LinceoVR Enterprise. There are also some export options. We want to start automatically in AR mode. Okay, I'm exporting. I will export into the folder here. Export to. Okay, and it's saving. Now it's already exported. The model has been ciphered, so we can also export it into the web without the matter of losing our mathematics. Now this is the format. When you send this file by email, you can share the mathematics and all the settings with other people. I'm going to double click it. This will open our standalone viewer. It will open the scene, connect to the first camera, which is in this case the same as before. And here you have shared the scene we saw before. So it's quite straightforward to share with other person those models. It's not only possible to share with standalone viewer, we also provide a plugin for all the most modern browser, which are Firefox and Explorer, Safari, and Chrome. This plugin can, once installed, can show also on a web page the same scene. Okay, I will go straight forward. I close the viewer and returning back to our LinceoVR, because I want to show you another way to share models. Again, I'll show you how to share models on the web using, this time, not a plugin, but a simple set of images which we are going to be rendered together. All those combination of elements, variants, and scenes can be exported to the as images. So if we go to our batch render model, this is the panel of the batch rendering. We can select many options over here. The file format, the resolution, which I'm going to reduce because we don't have enough time for waiting. I'm leaving the anti-alias setting. What I want to show you is how this tool can export the combination of all variants and layouts spinning around the model in order to produce a 360 overview of the object. So I'm going to export the layouts only, no variants, better, and the scene we are looking at. We are going to make a 5-step horizontal and 5-step vertical. This down here is the preview of the number of images we are going to produce. Now I click OK. So, and the rendering starts right now. He is going to render all the combination of layouts from all point of view. Now it has finished. You see, it produced high quality renderings of 75 images, very fast. Now we go into the directory where they have been produced. I missed the path, I think. Okay, here the path is different from what I was expecting. So the path is over here. You see this, it's layout 0. If you go into layout 0, and you see all the screens of the model. This is the preview, and this is the screen number 2 and screen number 3. All those images can be combined to produce a presentation of this model. But I think the best way to show this is to do an example. I am loading an example of model on which we worked. This is the spin introduced. Here we are. This is a real case of use of the edge rendering. We have many variants. We are talking about hundreds of variants, both geometry and both material. It's a shoes. A customer which makes tailor-made shoes. We wanted to show to customers all the different combination of variants. This produces many thousands of images. We are talking also of a million of images, which can be reduced thanks to the use of rules. I'll show you the rule setting. This is the model, which is being loaded right now. You see, it's showed in a neutral material. Here all the different variants. So you see that there are many also nested variants, different type of material. For each of those material you have different type of colors, and also we have many geometry variants. When going to the export batch rendering, you will see that we have only 4,000 images because we have rules which will reduce the number of images because we are only using certain combinations. When exporting all those images, we can use them for the web to show 360 degrees presentation. I'll show you directly on the web how they can be used. This is the configurator of shoes of this customer. When this is only web-based, but can also be flash-based. Selecting the models, selecting different variants and different colors, we get the final shoe. Then we can see the 360-degree presentation of the model. This can be done in a few hours using LinceoVR edge rendering and importing into a web page like this. Okay, this is a very powerful tool for sharing without plugging the models on the web. Okay, I'm going very fast on the last design review. I'm showing you a very huge model and then go directly to the presentation of LinceoVR 4.0. Okay, this is a car model we prepared. It's imported through an FBX and has a various million of polygons, many variants, and here we are. Okay, is loading the variants. Okay, so what we see here is a real-time rendering. I wanted to show only the powerful of this technology of real-time. These are the number of vertices. This wireframe is very well defined, and even those number of polygons, it's real-time. I'm showing here also the occlusion calculation, which can be performed with the global lighting calculation, which in a few hours can bake in the model those shadows, which are very, very give a more quality, a better quality, immersive quality of the model. At any time, you can produce screenshots with very high resolution. So if I produce a 4000 or 3000 PNG with anti-alias, the rendering will last only a few seconds. So we don't need to wait for hours of rendering, but we have a result in, you see, in 5 seconds. Now I can press open folder and see the rendering we have produced. I can zoom in, and the quality is extremely high. This is a very powerful tool of LinceoVR. The same way we can record with this button real-time videos. This way we select a file, press yes, and then I'm recording real-time this presentation. When I stop recording, I can go back and see what I recorded. You see, this is the recorded session right now. Again, I wanted to show you how easy it is to share with other people the work we have done. Okay, I would say we have a few minutes to show what is LinceoVR 4.0, which will be released in the next few days. The main feature of the new Linceo are the support to 64-bit platforms, so increased performance and memory management, integrated optimization tool which can reduce meshes. When loading huge meshes, even the performance is good, but when they drop, you have an optimization tool which can reduce them. And overlay, which can be added to the rendering, so you can add your custom logo. And finally, most interesting part is the integration with the Kinect of the Microsoft device and also the Xeon of the Asus. Here I'm loading a model to show you this feature. I already loaded Linceo 4.0. This is a back model I prepared before. This is what you are seeing here, an occluder, which is used to hide the part of the model where the hand will be. You simply add a geometry with this flag occluder in the material panel to hide this part. The most interesting part is over here, where in the tracker panel we saw before, we have those entities which are the hands, the head of the skeleton of the person. You drop them over here, and once done, you go into Augmented Reality mode. Okay, we are connected with the camera of the Kinect. My colleague is showing you the back in his hand. The tracking is quite straightforward. Once you are in front of the camera, it starts tracking you. As before, instead of using markers, he's using your body. You can add any type of model to any type of the joints of the skeleton. So to your head, you can add cap. Onto the torso, you can add any type of dresses or bags into the hand, shoes on the feet, and so on. So this is a preview of what is going to be the future. Hope you have enjoyed the webinar, and I'm here for any of your questions. And sorry if I gone somehow a little bit long with the time.
That's okay. Great presentation. Let's just jump into a couple of questions here. The first one's from Michael. He was asking, what are the supported operating systems, and will the VR software run on OS X?
Okay, so the supported operating system are from Windows XP till Windows 7. We are currently supporting Microsoft platforms, which is the second part of the question.
Will the software run on OS X?
Well, we are thinking of working to OS X. It's not right now available, but we are thinking of to add this compatibility for 2015. So next year we are quite sure to provide OS 6 support.
Great. Here's another one from Michael. He's asking, is the output viewable via iOS and Android devices?
If the viewer is available for Android devices?
Yeah.
Okay. We are working on this with a new export. The viewer itself cannot be exported, cannot be installed on the Android device, but we are thinking of exporting into a format which can be used on the Android devices and also onto iPhones and iOS.
Great. Here's another one from Michael again. He was wondering, similar to how a QR code app works, is there an app that reads the markers via mobile device?
Sorry, I think I didn't understand the question. So, yeah, can you repeat it? Or?
Yeah, is similar to how a QR code app works, is there a mobile device that allows your phone to read the markers?
Well, you mean if there is an application for reading the markers in AR? Well, we work on mobile. We have technology for showing also models in AR in reading markers. This is a different technology. I mean, you can still go through Linceo to export the models, but then you usually use another technology, but we are currently selling the technology, the final application. So we don't are giving the out-of-the-box tool, but we are ourselves preparing technologies.
I see. So that's great. I think we'll end the questions there since we're running out of time. I'm going to switch the screen back to me and give a brief little send-off here.
Okay.
So again, first of all, thank you, Joseph. Tremendous presentation. I'm sure everyone out there enjoyed it as much as I did. And then I wanted to thank everyone for attending another presentation of Novedge's Best of the Best webinar series. Just a little background on us here at Novedge in case you're unfamiliar. We're the leading online design software superstore. Not only do we have the best prices around, but our staff is extremely awesome. We'd love for you to call. We'd chat with you at any time. We do carry the software you saw, LinceoVR Enterprise. If you have any questions about purchasing it or the pricing, please feel free to contact my colleague Bob Thayer at bob@novedge.com. And then the last thing I wanted to mention before we sign off here is all attendees of this webinar will receive a coupon for up to $880 off the list price of LinceoVR. So if you are interested in purchasing your own version, you will be receiving this coupon if you wish to use it. So yeah, having said all that, Joseph, is there anything you want to add really quick before we sign off?
Sorry?
Is there anything you wanted to add really quick before we sign off?
No, I think it's you said everything. So I would like to thank you for everyone which joined this webinar. Thank you very much. And yeah, have a good day.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys, and thank everyone for attending. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye bye.